For paying employees or getting paid as an employee every month, you need to understand how parameters for salary work. Apart from the basic salary, there are a lot of parameters. They get added or deducted from the basic scale in exchange for benefits. Let me show you how easy calculating salary based on them is. Hello there, this is Farihatul Mim from Exceldemy, your one-stop for Excel blog posts, discussion forums, templates, and VBA-related answers. Today, we will discuss how to create annual salary in Excel. Here is a dataset with columns for involved parameters. We will calculate annual salaries for 10 employees here. We will do it using Excel 365. You can use other available Excel versions as well. Let's get down to the video. Here is a dataset where we can see the columns are here. So we will add employee information here, and here month, official work days, and the salary calculation. Finally, net monthly salary and annual salary. Let's insert name, positions first. We have draft record for this information. We have copied it and let's paste it in basics. So we can see the names and position here. Now, for gender, year, and month, we have added an additional worksheet here, which is supporting info. Here we can see gender, male, female are added here, 12 months are added here, and working year for companies are added here. Now, in column D, we will add the gender. In column D, let's add gender. For that, let's use data validation feature, select D6 to D15. Now go to Data tab, and from the Data Tools group, select Data Validation. Now from Data Validation window, choose Allow drop-down menu. Here we can see that data validation can be used for whole number, decimal, list, date, time, etc. So it's quite featureful, right? Since we have a list of 2 genders, let's select List. And for source, select Supporting Info Worksheet and choose B5 to B6. Okay, now we can see each of the cells are added with the drop-down. Let's select male or female for the employees. There we are. Now, for year value, let's repeat the action as well. Select E6 from the Data tab, Data Tools group, select Data Validation, allow drop-down menu, List, and source is Supporting Info, and choose F5 to F13. Okay, let's choose 2023. For month, again, data validation, allow drop-down menu, list, and source is Supporting Info, and D5 to D16. Okay, now let's choose February. Now, in cell G6, we need to add the total days available in the corresponding months added in F6. So it's not fixed, right? It will depend on F6. Now, let's use a formula using if function here so that it gets us the total number of days available within the month of this selection. Let's type if this month is equals January, then the output will be 31, since January is of 31 days. If not, it will go to another if condition, and that will be if this is equals February. If the condition is met, then output will be 28. Otherwise, it will go to another if condition. Repeat the same process for rest of the 10 months in this way. Enter. Now we can see, since our month is February, our office day is 28. Now our permitted leave is 2 days. Now the taken leaves record will be added from our draft. Let's paste it here using Ctrl+V. Now, let's calculate the active days. For that, in column J and in cell J6, let's use a formula using if condition. So, if tab I6 is greater than 86, which means if taken leaves is greater than leave permit, then our active days will get changed from the office day. So the output in that case will be G6. Let's make it absolute since we don't want it to change if our formula is copied, minus I6 plus 86, which is our permitted leave. Let's make it absolute as well, comma. If the condition is not met, then we will go along as the office day is. Let's make it absolute again, closing parenthesis, enter. So our active days in that case is 28. Let's double click on the bottom right corner, or you can use fill handle to autofill rest of the cells. There we are. Now we can see that the taken leave is 2, which is equal to permitted leave. So our active days is just as the office day. But here the taken leave is greater than permitted leave, which is why the additional 1 day is deducted from the office day. In column K, let's calculate the cost to company or CTC of employees. CTC is employees' annual salary package. We can enter them manually or copy paste them. We have a draft record and let's paste it here using Ctrl+V. There we are with our CTC values. Now in column L, we will calculate the CTC for this corresponding month. For that, let's use a formula using if and round down functions. So if tab B6 equals 0, which means if there are no name for the employees, then our output will be empty cell. Otherwise, if there are data in B6, it will go down to another formula, which is round down tab K6 or CTC divided by G6, which is our office day. Let's make it absolute, multiplied by J6, which is our active days. And number of digits for round down is 0. Since we have added a closing parenthesis less, Excel has autocorrected it. Let's choose yes since we accept this correction. So our CTC is 1000. Let's double click on the bottom right corner and we can see that the active days and office days are different in this case and the CTCs are changed in this case as well. Now let's get down to the most important part of our video today, which is salary addition and deduction. For that, first we will calculate the basic salary, and our basic salary is 50% of the CTC here. So let's type round down function so that we get an integer value. So our number is L6. Let's make it absolute. Column L doesn't change even if we copy the formula somewhere else, multiplied by 50%. Or you can use 0.5 as well, comma 0 since our number digits is 0. Enter. So our basic salary for Jessica corresponding to February 2023 is $500. Use fill handle or double click on the bottom right corner to autofill rest of the cells. There we are. Now for house rent allowance or HRA in N6, let's try a formula here. Equals, let's use round down function here as well so that we get a value in integer. Again L6, make it absolute again so that the column doesn't change, multiplied by 25%. Since our house rent allowance is 25% of the CTC, comma 0. Enter. Double click on the bottom right corner. So this is our house rent allowance, and for medical benefits the value is 10% of CTC. So round down tab L6 absolute multiplied by 10%, or you can use 0.1 here, comma, 0, closing parenthesis, enter. Double click on the bottom right corner. There we are with our medical benefit. We will add TA, travel and bonus values. We have recorded them previously in a draft record, so let's just copy it from there and paste it here using Ctrl+V. So our TA is $100 and travel bonus are correspondingly these values for these employees. Now, for calculating the gross salary, we need to get the total addition, adding all these values. So let's try the sum function, tab and select. Since this is a merged cell, we need to calculate it and make it absolute, comma, QR. Closing parenthesis, enter. So the total gross salary for Jessica as an executive is $1,170. Let's double click on the bottom right corner and we can see that the gross salary for individual employees are added here. Now for the amounts that will be deducted will be added here. So PF stands for Provident Fund. Here the Provident Fund, the 9% of our basic salary. So equals, let's use round down function again and choose M6. Make sure to make it absolute so that column M doesn't change, multiplied by 9%. Or you can use 0.09 here, comma, 0, enter. So our Provident Fund amount is $45. Double click on the bottom right corner and we can see that each of the employees' Provident Fund amount is added here. After calculating the Provident Fund amount, we need to calculate the tax value. Now, tax calculation might be a bit tricky. We have added another sheet for your better understanding. Let's go to tax worksheet. Here, basic salary is based on our salary sheet here, and yearly basic is the value that we get after multiplying 12 for 12 months with the basic salary. Now, for calculating tax, we need to rely on the yearly basic value. So let's try a formula that will include criteria, addition, and percentage for tax. Let's try if function here. If the yearly basic is greater than our first criteria, then the amount will be our first addition criteria plus opening parenthesis yearly basic minus our criteria value closing parenthesis multiplied by the percentage value 0.37 or 37%. So if the criteria is met, the output will be this one. If not, we will go down to another if function. And let's go down to the second criteria now. Yearly basic greater than second criteria, then our output will be second addition plus opening parenthesis yearly basic or I5 minus second criteria closing parenthesis and multiplied by second percentage or 35%. If not, it goes to our third if condition tab. Make sure you make these references absolute so that they don't change if we copy the formula D5, P5, absolute. And we're making them absolute using F4 or function 4 key. Now, we will repeat the task for all the criteria and addition and percentage as follows. And finally, if I5 is less than or equals this criteria, then it will show us the yearly value multiplied by 10% or 0.1. Let's make it absolute and let's make B10 absolute as well. If this condition is not met, we will add blank divided by 12 for monthly value. So our tax value is $50. Let's change the format to accounting number format. And let's try. Double click on the bottom right corner. There we are. Now we can just copy it or use reference here. Let's type equals and click on J5 here, enter. Let's double click on the bottom right corner and we get our tax values. Now in column V, we will add our TDS values. Now you can manually type them or you can copy it from a source, from a draft source and paste it here using Ctrl+V. So our TDS values are here. Now the total amount of deduction will be sum, tab, select Provident Fund, tax and TDS, enter. Double clicking on them has autofilled rest of the cells. Now we get the total gross salary and total deduction. So net salary calculation is easy now, right? We can just click on S6, which is our gross salary total for Jessica, minus the total deduction for Jessica. Enter. So our net salary for Jessica is $1,045. Let's double click on the bottom right corner. There we are. So this is for month February 2023. And for annual salary, we can just multiply the net salary with 12. Enter. So we get our annual salary. Double clicking has autofilled rest of the cells. Using these elaborate steps, you can calculate annual salaries as well. You can practice this with the help of the Excel file in the description box below. Let us know if you were able to do it in the comment section. Share your suggestions and feedback as well. Stay tuned by subscribing to the channel and clicking on the bell icon. Like and share the video if it helps you. Thanks for watching.